You are now tuned into Beautiful You, Authentic You Radio. Here are your hosts, Irena Tenen and Nakia P. Evans. Beautifully living, authentically in Christ.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Beautiful You, Authentic You radio show. It's your girl, Nakia P. Listen, I'm excited as always every single week to be here just to highlight and, chat it up with amazing women who are doing amazing things, right? So we are here another Sunday evening, right? And I am here with my wonderful, beautiful co-host, Irena Tenen. How are you, love?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing good. It's our time again.
Absolutely. I look forward to it every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes. So listen, we have another amazing guest for today. Her and I did a little bit of business before, and, she's awesome. So invited her to come on and chat it up with us. On today, we have, she just told me, so I'm going to make sure I pronounce this correctly, Mertha Dubois. Is that correct?
Martha, that is perfect.
Okay.
Thank you so very much. Oh, and I also want to give you a round of applause as well. I mean, man, you are doing some amazing things, magazine, radio shows, and I think you have a speaking engagement coming up so soon. So I want to congratulate you on all your endeavors because you are an inspiration, and I really appreciate this invite tonight wholeheartedly. I thank you, and it is an honor to be here with you and Irena.
Thank you. We are happy to have you. So just give us a little bit of information, tell us a little bit about who you are.
Absolutely. Well, I want to say bonjour to all the beautiful people out there. I really appreciate you for being here to hear what I got to say. I am Mertha Dubois. I want to say that I am beautiful, valuable, and lovable because I think it, therefore I am it. I am beautiful, so therefore I see beauty all around me. I bring value because I am valuable, and I can love and receive love because I am lovable. I want you to know that I am because He is the great I am. A little bit more about me. I am the youngest of 3 children of same mother and father. I have 3 young men. Maxwell, 31, Nicholas, 29, and Andrew, 24. I am also a grandmother of 1 little girl who is 1 year old, and her name is Lauren. Awesome. That is absolutely awesome. Well, we are excited to have you here this evening, and I love that. I am. I love that. A lot of times we say things, but we don't necessarily believe what we say. So it's very important for it to really resonate is I believe I'm beautiful, so I am beautiful. So tell us a little bit about what type of things do you do? Okay, awesome. I definitely can share that. I am an international best-selling author. The name of my book that's out there now is Undeniable You, 7 Steps to Soar. And the 7 steps, I'll just run through them real quick, are breathe, the use of all your senses, the seeing, the hearing, and the feeling, of course. Eat, crawl, stand, walk, and run. In my book, I use the analogy of a baby being born to the age of when they can actually run. And I use that to women becoming aware of where she is when she, for the first time, realizes that she is not where she wants to be or should be, and the steps that need to be taken to get her to a better place. Now, the steps are developmental stages to personal growth. And, by the way, those steps are the same steps I use for my own personal growth. I am also a personal development life coach. I coach women, like the listeners on this call, to living more fulfilled lives, to, get rid of the overwhelm and to gain clarity and to understand, believe, and own
who they are so that they can take a more active role and become undeniable. Now, a lot of people are sitting there probably wondering, well, what is undeniable? I've said it maybe a couple of times already, and I'm glad that everybody's thinking it, and I'm glad that somebody wants to ask that question, so I'm going to share it with you. Undeniable means to walk in your purpose. It means to discover and develop your special gift instilled in you by who? By our Creator. It means to actively participate in your journey. The one that, the plan that He has for you, that's part of our journey. Undeniable means no more being a carbon copy of the person everybody else wants you to be. Being undeniable is set to push you, to take steps outside of the ordinary so that you can step up into your extraordinary. Being undeniable will also get us to stand unapologetically in the light so that we can shine a path for someone else. To be undeniable means it's time for you, everyone on this call. It's time for you to decide whose you are and who you are. Now, my gift, started from a very young age. It started to develop from a very young age. I didn't know it then, as I know it now. But my brother started to show signs of mental illness when I was about 11 years old. And he looked to me as his guardian angel. And he looked to me to bring him clarity in his confused world. Can you imagine that? I was immediately elected by family members to be, there with him, to be his caregiver, to be by his side. And, of course, at the same time, I was going to bring them, relief of the shame, relief of the guilt that they felt, and relief of the effort that they really didn't want to put in. Because mental illness is one of those things that you kind of like hush, no one needs to know. And it became one of those things that you keep behind closed doors. And so I was the one that had to, take up that responsibility. But as the years went by, my responsibilities grew, not just for my brother, Jacques, but something else was happening. Family members were bringing me their situations, their concerns, their questions. Me, Martha Dubois, even though I was in my early teens, I was able to provide them with what they needed. Can anybody else out there say, but God? But God, who else can guide an 11-year-old child to responding to grown-up situations and grown-up questions? They were at the point in their lives that they were stuck and they were confused. And, yes, they were feeling overwhelmed. But they didn't have a so-called mentor or coach to reach out to. They reached out to a teenager named Martha Dubois instead. With the hand of the Creator, I began to minister to their needs, offering guidance and, even mapping out a plan for their specific situations. Now, how many of you out there right now are feeling that overwhelmed or stuck or, even confused if it's not right this minute? How many of you have felt that throughout your lives, throughout your week, even this short weekend, this Saturday and Sunday? And you're praying for someone to bring you calm, to bring calm to your chaos, to bring clarity to your confusion, to help you see clearly. And that is where I come in. The experience of the time from when I was 11 years old to the present. People have stopped me in stores and nail salons, asking me questions that they probably already know the answers to, but they need someone there not only to cheer them on, but to really look them in the face and say, you need more than what you're doing. You need more than what you know. Let me help you get you to that next level in your life, get you to that next step. And I do it because God, the Creator, placed me in a position to, afford the, everyone the support that I can. And that's what I do with my personal development. That's how I face each and every person that I meet, that, there is more to you. you're not just here to do what you're doing. There's so much more. And we get stuck sometimes in the box and the labels that everyone else has placed us in. And I come along and I say, no, we need to break open that box. We need to look deeper inside of you because there's so much more to you than just what you have shared so far with the world.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I like that. Now, Martha, you explained the situation and things that you had to do and, basically the process that you take women through. Now, I know that you mentioned you taking care of your brother and things like that. Was there any other situation in your life that positioned you for this? Because I truly believe that in order to do something, there has to be something that you've experienced yourself. That really push you to be able to do what you do. Was there any other situation or anything that actually occurred in your life that helped, propel you to this point?
Absolutely. I mean, there are so many situations, but what really brought me to the 7 steps was my marriage. There were some things that I went through. My husband was not a bad person. He wasn't a bad man, but what most of us face is we go into any situation or any relationship and we kind of settle. We as women especially, we want to put everyone else first. We want to stay in the back of the room. We want to be the voice that's unheard, even though we have tons and thousands of thoughts going on in our heads, but we stay silent. So in my marriage, I didn't know what I wanted. So guess what? My husband had no idea what I wanted. So he gave what he thought was proper. Unfortunately, instead of supporting me or pushing me or encouraging me or motivating me to go forward, it turned backwards, right? So instead of me excelling, I began to have, some panic attacks because I kept so many things inside of me. I began to, think I was the one that everyone turned to. Guess what? You don't know who you yourself need to turn to when you need that person, because everyone looks to you as that superwoman, as that person with the answers, all the answers, as that person with the anointing, as that person with the special gifts. So you feel now, I cannot turn around and who am I going to speak to? Who am I going to reach out to, right? Because everyone's reaching out to me. So my marriage was one that I really learned from. It took a while for me to take that step and say, you know what, I want to do more for me. I want to do more for my family. I want to do more for other women out there who don't know what more really looks like because they've never had a mentor. They've never had an example. So my marriage was one. My job, I worked in corporate for a long time. And again, you become the person that everybody turns to, for that expertise. Mirtha has it. Mirtha's got the project done. Mirtha can do this. Don't worry about it. And so you become, again, you're holding all this stuff in that you're not really sharing your gift with the world, but you're sharing what other people want you to share. So I became a woman who wanted to do more. And I had to look out and see what does more look like? How do I take that step that's going to guide me towards more? Yes, you pray. But at one point, the Creator is saying, sweetheart, I gave you the gifts. Now it's time for you to use them, right? And you're still wondering, well, how do I use them? Because, again, you don't have that example. So I took baby steps. And I learned to, that in order for me to clear my mind, in order for me to gain clarity, I needed to learn how to breathe. I needed to take a breath. Sometimes in life we run. We're running. We're chasing things down. And I was literally, Nakia, holding my breath at times. Sometimes you're holding your breath and you don't know it until you have to gasp for that air.
Right.
And it's like, oh my gosh, what am I doing to myself? And that's where I was. So I had to learn how to breathe. I mean, breathing is one of those things we really take for granted because it's supposed to be automatic. You know, no one has to teach us how to take that first breath. The baby comes out, and all of a sudden you hear that cry. It's because they took that breath. And, you know, their lungs filled with a little bit of, you know, science stuff. I won't go into that. But then now they're crying. They're like, oh, my gosh, I'm here. I'm alive. And that's what tells the difference between, of course, your last breath and your first breath. It tells whether or not you're living or if you're dying. And sometimes we go through life and we're unsure because we stop breathing. We literally just stop taking inhales and we stop exhaling. And I had to learn how to do just that. So I went back to taking those baby steps.
Oh, that is very good, very, very good. I can identify with quite a few things that you said. One of the things is that I, too, ever since I was a little girl, people would come to me for advice. 11, 12, all the way up to now, I'm 47. People have always come to me for advice. So it's like, exactly like you said, when we're that strong person, we're the person that everybody comes to, where do we go? You know, and then as a wife, a mother, a friend, all this, we get lost in helping everybody else where it gets to the point where, who are we? So we do have to, at some point in our life, come back and figure out who exactly we are. And we have to, when you're talking about inhaling and exhaling, we have to determine if we are actually living life or are we simply existing in life. And if we're simply existing, we have to figure out what to do to live. And in doing that, we got to figure it out who it is that we are. So can you share with us just a little bit about your book?
Absolutely. In my book, as I mentioned, I use the analogy of a baby being born. And what's the first thing that they do is that they take a breath. They learn how to breathe. And then they learn how to eat and use their senses. And, of course, they learn how to walk and run and stand. And in each step, as a woman coming to her own, coming to become aware of who she is, we run into the same steps. What are we eating? What are we feeding our minds and our bodies to stand, right? To stand firm. And when we do stand, what can we see? You know, do we wobble? Do we fall? Do we shake? Do we kneel? What do we do when we first stand? And are we standing on shaky ground? I believe we stand on shaky ground all the time. But the key is to learn to walk on that shaky ground as if it was standing still. And we do that through prayer, absolutely, to know who we are, whose we are. We look inside ourselves and we see the gifts that God has given us. And we should not take those for granted. We need to learn how to use them and how to use them effectively. And so in my book, I just correlate, the steps that the baby takes with the steps that a woman coming into her own for the very first time takes. And the strength, where do you get the strength? So the book has steps. The book has also areas where you can write, take notes, make notes for yourself, like what are you doing? The book has examples of how to breathe, what you should be thinking about, how to clear your mind. And the book is really, it's a very short book. It's not lengthy at all, but it's impactful. The content will help anyone who picks it up to immediately take that first step and immediately start to feel a difference.
Awesome sauce. Okay. Awesome sauce. Well, I like that. You're doing it. That's all I can say. You're doing it. I love what you're talking. I love what you're doing. And I love how you are empowering others through their processes, because things get tough sometimes, and it becomes to the point, just like you and Irena were discussing, where you have to realize if you're living, if you're existing, if you're just kind of floating about, basically. So I'm glad to see that you're doing that you're being such an empowerment and inspiration to others. Thank you so much for that. Awesome sauce love. Now, okay, so what's next for you? Like, tell me what's going on. I see all the stuff that you're doing, right? So what's next for you?
Sure, we can definitely share that. Now, since becoming an international best-selling author, I am certified by Kid Marketing to host their signature workshop. The name of the workshop is called Write Your Bestseller in 1 Hour. I have an upcoming event May the 29th. It starts at 7:15 p.m. Eastern, and everyone can email me. The other thing that I'm participating, where I was selected to participate is this Tampa Indie Author Book Convention, and that's in Tampa, Florida, and that will be July 14th through the 15th. It is on eventbrite.com, so if you go there and you type in Tampa Indie Author Book Convention in Tampa between the dates of July 14th and 15th, it will come up. The other thing that I'm working on is a woman empowerment event appropriately named The Foundation of Being Undeniable. There we will have a prayer warrior, we will have vision board time, we will have self-care tips, business plans, loads of laughs, and lots of fun, and definitely we will make memories. Now, the goal of this event is is that you walk out feeling like a superwoman in your own right. Save the date because it's September the 29th. It's a one-day workshop, and it will be held in Tampa, Florida. So keep checking my website for updates.
Awesome. You have a lot of great things coming up. So before we go, this time goes by so fast. And I have thoroughly, like Nakia, enjoyed hearing about you and learning more about you, and I appreciate you taking the time out to share with us this evening. Before we go to a break, can you share with us where you can be reached, and if you'd like to leave any encouraging words or anything for our listeners?
Absolutely. Thank you for that. And, again, I really appreciate being invited on the show. I think you ladies are doing some amazing things, really inspiring, and the women that you bring on also share the same intention, and definitely it's a wonderful thing when we come together and we can start to build communities. Now, my final thought that I'd like to share is, ladies and gentlemen, if you can just take a moment to close your eyes. And if you're driving, pull to the side of the road and just sit there for a few seconds. I promise you it won't take long. I want you to close your eyes and go back to when you were 11. Were you having fun? Were you doing something you wanted to do? Now think about being 11 years old and you are elected to care for someone who is older than you and with a lot of problems that you know nothing about. You're thinking, shouldn't this person be taking care of me? Instead of you playing with your friends or hanging out, you have to run home and do more than just a regular chore. Yes, exactly. It did feel like a burden. I fought, I ran, I even tried to hide from my purpose, His plan. But I want you to know that you cannot fight God and expect to win. You cannot outrun God, and you definitely cannot hide from Him. Ladies and gentlemen, you can now open your eyes. Now, today, I realize my purpose. Being able to educate, elevate, and empower is a true blessing and not a burden. Because of my experience, I offer you a life without feeling the overwhelm. I help you remove the mud from your eyes so you can see clearly. I offer you a way to make a deposit to yourself so that you are not left feeling empty or at a negative balance. Let me do something here, and only because you are on this radio show hosted by two lovely ladies, if you or someone you know ever felt that you are in a plateau in your life where you cannot get to the next level, I am going to offer you a free 15-minute consultation. And you can call me, but you have to mention this radio show. Okay? Now, my website is www.mirthadubois, That's M as in Mary, YRTHA, D as in David, U, B as in boy, OIS as in Sam.com, MerthaDubois.com. You can reach me on Instagram at Mertha_Dubois. You can find me on Facebook at two groups. One is at Mertha Dubois Coaching Consulting, and the other is at m.facebook.com/groups/undeniableyou. My book, Undeniable You, 7 Steps to Soar, you can find that at Amazon.com. Back to you, ladies.
Awesome. Well, Bertha, thank you so very much for coming on and chatting with us. It has been a pleasure getting to know you. You and I still have some things that we are working on doing, so I'm excited about that. And, I wish the best for you, love. You're doing amazing and awesome things, so congratulations.
Thank you so very much, and same to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Continuing all that you're doing.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so very much. All right, to our audience, listen, we are about to go on break, and when we come back, we're going to introduce our second guest, and we're going to go from there. All right, so just give us a few minutes, and we will be right back.
Hallelujah. This next song, y'all can be seated if you can. This next song is talking about how much I have tried to do things on my own. I fail. He gave me another chance. I failed again. Gave me a 4th chance. I failed again. Gave me a 19th chance and I failed again. But His grace and mercy is just so sufficient. Listen to these words. It says, I'm no longer leaning to my understanding. 'Cause now I can see. That you have a plan for me. As I look at all the ways you made. This is what I say. Lord, take my life. Do what you want. I need you to make me, Lord. Mold me. Say, have your way. In spite of how I feel, I wanted to use me as you will. In spite of how I feel, how many want to be used for real? You really want to be used by the Lord? Here's the second verse. Listen. Now here are my hands, my feet, make me brand new. I got down on my knees. I called on His name.
Hey there. We are back. We are back for the second half of the Beautiful You, Authentic You radio show. Yes, we had an awesome first half. And I'm excited about our second half. I do believe Irena and I are just going to kind of chat it up for a little bit. So, Irena, you here?
I'm here.
All right, awesome sauce. So, it's just you and I for right now.
Okay.
It's us right now. And so, first of all, I want to ask you, because we celebrated you a couple of weeks ago on the launch of your radio show, I Matter, right?
Yes.
Yes. So, how has that been going?
It's been going good. I have thoroughly been excited every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have my 4th show, so it'll be a complete month tomorrow. I've had some amazing guests. I just love having a show and being able to chat with people. And actually, with these shows, we're actually growing our network. We're learning more people. They're learning us. So I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
Awesome sauce. That is so wonderful. I'm happy for you. I've enjoyed it. You know, I was a guest, and then listening to you as a guest that you have on has been amazing. You know, especially last week when you were talking about relationships.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I was, you know, silently screaming in the background. So that was good. That was good. So what else has been popping in your world, Irena?
Well, okay, so in addition to that, I will be launching a T-shirt line soon, probably within the next couple of months. Yay! I'm excited about that, and then I have a journal coming soon. Within the next couple of months, I have a lot of things coming, but I don't want to tell it all. But
right.
Just be on the lookout, because everything that I do centers around inspiring, empowering, and encouraging women to live their best life. So that's what everything that I do centers around. So that's my upcoming projects will be centered around that as well.
Okay. All right. Awesome. I'm excited for you, love.
I am excited, too. You know, we've been talking a lot about, I guess, purpose and what it is we're supposed to be doing and living our best life, not just simply existing. And I can truly say that when you really find out what your purpose is, you're so much more at peace. You know, you're so much happier, and it feels like, even though I'm not solely working for myself just yet, it feels good to be, you know, walking in my purpose. I feel like that's what I'm doing, and being able to just bless other people, and it comes naturally. So it's like I feel like I'm not simply just going through the motions, getting up, going to work, come home, go to bed, get up. I mean, you know, it feels like I'm actually living and hopefully making a difference in the lives of others as well. And I know with you, you know, I'm all about the self-love and the beautiful part of our brand, Beautiful You, Authentic You. But you're more about the authenticity, you know, and that's very important, too, because, you know, you don't want to be walking around being fake, and you don't want to be surrounded by fake people. So what do you have coming up as far as being authentic?
Well, we are actually doing the Woman Behind the Mask Virtual Summit, which is going to be starts next week, June the 4th through the 8th. And I'm excited about that because we basically did, of course, book 1 and book 2, but I haven't really centered a summit around it. And so I was thinking to, you know, bring that back, because it's so important. You know, when I talk to women and they're talking about things that they have experienced, things that they are going through, and just to be able to, you know, kind of put something together that is centered around them, help them out. And, you know, the Woman Behind the Mask has been great. You know, a lot of people have really enjoyed it. And, you know, the last book, which you were in, it was awesome. You know, we had an awesome time even when we did the coming out, you know, the release party and things like that. So I'm excited about that. And we're also going to do book 3 in September. So I'm excited about that as well. I was going to put it off, but, you know, we're going to go ahead and keep it moving with that. So that's in the works for me. So you have The Woman Behind the Mask, book 3, coming out in September, correct? Yes, ma'am. So do you have all the authors you need, or is there an opening for more authors? I actually have an opening for 3 more authors, just 3 more. And I'm keeping it very limited on this book. You know, the first 2 books, it was over 10 ladies. I believe the first one was like 16. The last one was like 13 or 14. But this book, we're only doing 7. And so I have an opening for 3 more ladies. If anyone is interested, if you're on the call or listening to the replay, and if you're interested, you can definitely reach out to me on Facebook, Nakia P. Evans, or you can email me, NakiaPEvans@gmail.com. Oh, okay. And I want to encourage anybody that has ever thought about writing,
sometimes it's good to or share their story. Sometimes it's good to get started in an anthology instead of just going off on your own and writing your own book. I've been in a couple of anthologies, and Nakia's was one of them, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I enjoyed the process. I enjoyed being a part of a book with other women that are sharing their stories. And actually, being a part of an anthology and sharing your story is really therapeutic. It's not as scary as writing a whole book, sharing your whole life, but sharing just a little tidbit with people. So I just want to encourage people that if they have thought about being in an anthology and it, is applicable to Nakia's theme, the woman behind the mask. Now, if it's not, then, don't be trying to get in the book. But
right.
Because you might not get in the book. But reach out to her and be a part of that. It's really rewarding sharing an experience with women. I know my first anthology that I compiled, which Nakia was also in mine, released in January, and it was just a great experience. And I've heard a lot of feedback from not only the authors that were in the book, and a lot of them were first-time authors, but the people that have read the book. Mm-hmm. I mean, they were like, "Oh my God, I read it in one day. Oh my God, those were strong women. Oh my God, oh my God." And it just made me feel good that I was able to do what God told me to do. So that goes back to what I was saying about us walking in our purpose. Doing things that we believe that God wants us to do. So your summit sounds great. So that's June, what did you say, 4th through the 9th?
Yes. Yep, it is June 4th.
So that's soon.
Yeah, that's like next week. Next week. But I'm excited about it. I am. I think it's going to be great. We have an awesome lineup of women that's just ready to share their stories and ready to pour into others. So I think it's going to be really, really good. I do.
And I think that's what it's all about. That's what it's about, sharing what you've been through to help other people. And a lot of times when we go through things, we don't know why. Why are we going? Well, Lord, why am I going through this? Lord, why? And we always want to know why. Why? And then we may be the type that we go through one thing, then next thing you know, it's something else. We're going through something else. And then, Lord, you look around and it's something else. So it's like, why me? Why me? But I truly believe that we go through things to help other people, and we can help other people. A lot of times when we go through stuff, we're ashamed. We don't want to share, our stories. We don't want to tell anybody what we went through or what we've gone through, We want to wear that mask like everything is okay, everything is perfect. But it's not, So I think that by having an avenue like a telesummit, a conference, a book, a magazine, things to actually share what you've overcome, it enables you to help other people. So I think that's great.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And Irene, I have to laugh at what you had said earlier about sometimes it's easier to be in an anthology than writing your own book. And I had to laugh because, my goal for my personal book, solo book, is March of next year, right? Mm-hmm. And it terrifies me, right? It totally terrifies me because it's like, oh my gosh, like that's so much to write, so much to, just so much to put on paper and experience and go through. So yeah, you're right. Sometimes it's a little easier to do that. But it's amazing. And I think it's a little more inspiring and motivational when you are working with other women because you see the same women who are going through the same thing in a sense. We're, experiencing and sharing your stories and things like that. And so, when you do it as a group, it doesn't seem as bad. But, I was having a couple of moments, trying to get mine. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, like that's a little terrifying. But I'm excited that, March, 2019, it will be here. So, say a prayer for it, girl,
I got you. And the thing is, March will be here before you know it. We're laughing, but that time, it's already almost June. Time is flying by so fast. So, writing that book, you gotta get started. Because the thing about writing a book, as you know from being in anthologies, is it's difficult to do because what you're writing, you're reliving. And some of those things that you may be writing about, you don't want to relive, right? You don't want to go through that because you're going through it all over again. Basically, you're putting it on paper for everybody to see, so that can be overwhelming. In an anthology, you just have a certain amount of words. You can't go over this. So it's kind of like, okay, well, I don't have to share all of it. I can just tell just this bit. But in your own book, we want everything.
Okay.
We want you to tell it all, honey. I was born, March 10th, blah, 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 blah. So it can be scary, but you have a lot of experience because you've been in anthologies. So the only difference, this book is all about you.
Yeah, so. That's true. But, yeah, still say a prayer for sister, I'm telling you, because it's like, my hands pick up because I like to write. I'm a visual person, so for some it's easier to go onto the computer and type it. I'm the complete opposite. Like, I write it and then type it. Like, adding other steps that is totally unnecessary. But, hey, that's Nakia, right? So, just picking up the pen and writing, like, it just kind of freaked me out a little bit because I was like, oh, my gosh, but it's a good thing. Like, I think that, this is going to be an experience that I'm going to really cherish and appreciate rather than putting together an anthology, but actually doing your own personal book,
Yeah, I know. And I know it's hard. I wrote a book, but it's more of a devotional, so it's not about me. So I can imagine writing a whole book about me. The anthologies I've been in, all those stories are about me, personal things I've experienced, personal things I've, overcome or gone through. But to write a whole book, that is, it's scary and overwhelming. But you could do it. You've spoke about it. You've written about it. Now it's time to come full circle and make this one all about you. So you also have, is it a camp for kids that's wanting to learn the radio industry?
Yes. Listen, I am super excited about this. We're actually doing a virtual summer camp for kids, right? And basically I've broken it up into two different age groups. But this summer camp is for kids who is interested in radio, if they want to learn radio. Now, I know that a lot of people look at it and they're like, oh, where's internet? It's not necessarily radio. Well, internet radio is taking off far more than traditional radio. With internet radio, you have so many different opportunities than you would in an actual studio. You can do so much more with it, and like I said, it's really taken off. But for the summer camp, I'm actually going to teach the youth how to basically build their own online radio show. They get to watch me do the work. They get to learn. We're going to actually build their show, okay? We're going to let them get on air. We're going to teach them how to engineer their own shows. So not just getting and calling into a number and doing the show, but actually doing the tech side of it as well. And then I'm actually going to gift 3 students an actual radio show to our network. Completely free. Parents will not have to pay, okay? They only pay for the summer camp. But 3 kids will be able to actually host their own show onto our network completely free. No monthly charges for parents. That is awesome sauce. So I'm super excited about that, and yeah, we're going to do that. Yeah.
That's going to be fun. And I don't think I've ever heard of anything like that. I mean, a lot of times we focus on stuff for adults, and, they do have summer camps offline, of course, for kids that focus on certain things, dance, science, math, things like that. But I don't think I've ever heard, I haven't heard of an online virtual, camp doing that. So I think that is great. And to gift a radio show,
yeah.
Now, what is the age range for this camp?
Actually, I have it from 8 to 12. That's the first group, and then it's 13 to 17. And so I'm doing it for 2 different age groups, which is 2 different, of course they have different weeks for it. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. And it was amazing to me because I was trying to go to sleep. That's what I was trying to do. But obviously God was like, absolutely not. You got to get up and write. So when that dropped on me, I was like, oh my gosh, like that is completely awesome. And I've never really thought that it could be possible. But immediately, I called Alan and I was like, can we make this possible? Can we do this? And, he assured me that we can. So I'm going for it. And I think it's going to be an awesome opportunity for anyone who has any, a youth, boy or girl, who is interested in learning, radio, interested in really trying to set that up. My daughter, Lyric, is doing her show this summer. And actually launching her own radio station this summer as well. So I think that is a great opportunity, even if they just want some experience or just want to see how it is, it's going to be great.
Yeah, I think that's phenomenal. So how can people, they can contact you, just tell us again to learn more about that in case they have kids that are interested.
Absolutely. Well, you can contact me on Facebook, Nakia P. Evans. And if you're interested in the summer camp, you can email me, NakiaPEvans@gmail.com, okay? And just put in the title, summer camp, and, yeah, I'll give you all the information and what you need to get started, to get your kids signed up and get them started. So, awesome stuff. Now, Irena, I have a question for you. Because you're asking me about these questions. I have a question. Well, actually, a shout-out for you, because your station, Beautifully Becoming, just signed on your first radio show, right?
Yes. Woo!
Yes. Yes. So give us a little information about your show that's coming onto your radio station.
Okay. It's going to be amazing. First of all, the host is Mary Boyd. Her name is Mary Boyd. The name of her show is The Good News. It will air on Monday starting June 4th. At 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be an hour show. She is just a high-energy person that, oh, my God, you guys, it's going to be an amazing show. But basically, she was saying to us when she was a guest on our show, how when you turn on the news, all you hear is negativity. All you hear is this happened, this person was shot, this person was... So her show is going to center around everything good, positive, uplifting, encouraging, empowering stories, news, all kinds of things, a little humor. So I am excited about her joining my station, and I can't wait to hear all that she has to bring. I cannot wait.
That is going to be awesome. I'm excited for you and for her. I think that is going to be great because we need to hear good news. There's so much negativity and so much bad stuff going on. So it'll be great to be able to hear something on a weekly basis to uplift our spirit. Keep us encouraged, keep us empowered. So that right there, that's awesome stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Yeah, I am too. And I'm excited about just the network in general because, each station we're growing. We're really putting it out there. We're spreading the gospel and the love of Christ all over the world, over 165 countries. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, and I think that's just, my word, awesome sauce, right?
Right.
It's just awesome sauce. It really is. And, we're grateful and humble for what God is doing. And, I'm looking for more countries, us reaching more countries and being able to impact the world with what we're doing. And, for you and I, for this brand that we have, Beautiful You, Authentic You, I'm looking forward to what God has in the future for this as well. Because, I truly believe that this is powerful. Not only do we have the radio show where, we're highlighting and speaking to women and having women empower and speaking to others, but there's a lot of other things that you and I have discussed that we are, putting into the work for this brand. And so I'm excited about everything that God is doing, everything that He, has set up and planned and, put in our hands and, all of that. So I'm looking forward to it. I really am. It's going to be amazing. It is.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that, I like the fact that we were able to put our brands together and create one where we can work together and still not lose ourselves. We can work collectively, but we can also stand alone. Even with the hosting this show, which is a part of our brand. I love that we're able to do that. So many people are not able to, they try to do it and it just doesn't work, or, there's a lot of competition or this, but we don't have that, and I really appreciate the fact that we're able to work together and through that have developed a relationship, a very close relationship that we're able to share, what we plan to do together and individually, without the competition, share the resources, share our ideas without worrying about, ooh, that sounds good, I'm going to do that too, or I'm going to do that too, or I think I'm going to do that, or not say that and just do it. We don't have to worry about it. So I appreciate you, and I'm glad that we actually connect and we're able to do that. You never know, why God, brings people together. I just reached out to you because I wanted to write for your magazine. That was all over.
And, it's amazing. And, I have to laugh at it because, when it started out, that's what it was. We joined the magazine, and then all of a sudden we just started chatting. And now we talk like every day, So it's amazing. And, I thank God for the friendship, and having a sister, an older sister, and I say that because, sometimes I feel like I'm the older person in certain friendships, so it's good to have an older sister that I can just, call and whine to, that's what I do sometimes, so. So it's good, it's good, and have somebody that can pour back into me as I would do the same for you, so. I'm grateful. I am, and I'm loving what God is doing. I am. And, Irena, I see that our host is still kicking in with us. Woo-hoo. Shout out to all of our guests. Look at y'all.
Yes.
Look at y'all. I see y'all all over the little phone lines. Y'all better go ahead with your ass there.
So before we go, Nakia, you also have 2 upcoming classes. So tell us about those, because maybe somebody listening that's interested.
All righty. Well, guys, listen, I love media, and if you know anything about movies, you know that's like that's my zone, radio, TV, magazine, all of that media. And so what I'm doing is I have a class coming up, which is going to be on the 30th of next month, and it is called Media Marketing, okay? Media Marketing and Profits. Media Marketing and Profits, and it's only $20.18. This is going to be a 2-hour class, okay? And we are going to talk about how you can take your media, whatever you have, whether you have a radio show, a podcast, if you have a blog, if you have a magazine, if you have a TV show, whatever it is, we're going to basically discuss how you can take that, how you can package it together, how you can increase your visibility, how you can be seen, okay? And when you're being seen, what happens? You make money, okay? So don't act like you ain't trying to make no money, okay? I understand that we're all humble in it and things like that, but, hey, we all want to increase our profits. We definitely do. So the first class is going to be on June the 30th. That's a Saturday, all right? And that class is $20.18, all right? It's 2018, so that's what we do, all right? And then the next class, all right, the next class is So You Want to Start a Magazine Part 2, right? So I did Part 1 a couple of months ago. It was amazing. Everybody loved it, all right? And I really wasn't planning to do a Part 2, but somebody reached out to me, and she was like, well, I'm ready for another one. I was like, okay. Okay, yeah, sure, we can do that. So on July 21st, okay, July 21st, that class is going to be So You Want to Start a Magazine Part 2, all right? And, of course, again, it's only $20.18. all right? And you get amazing content. And, we're going to show you how to set it up, how you can use Canva. If you don't have the money to hire anybody, Canva is awesome. Canva gives templates, right? Some are free, some you only got to pay $1 for, but you can actually use Canva in different platforms, different apps to be able to create your own magazine, all right? And so those are the things that we're going to discuss. We're going to show you how to put it together. We're going to show you how to design it, how to publish it, and how to profit from it, okay? And if you missed part 1, that's okay. You can still go get part 1, all right, 2018, okay? So if you're interested, you already know how to hit me up, Nakia P. Evans on Facebook or NakiaPEvans@gmail.com.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we both have a lot of things coming up. I'm excited.
Yes,
OMG, it's almost June, which means the year is half over. But we still got time to complete our 2018 goals, and we got a lot of them.
Yeah.
We still got time to do that. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. We could freestyle like this one. Anytime we have to. We can just freestyle. So I appreciate you guys hanging on and listening to us and calling in and taking time out of your Sunday. I know a lot of people are off work tomorrow, so I appreciate you so much. And Nakia appreciates you. Thank you all, and we will be back next Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for 2 more amazing guests. Nakia, anything else you want to say before we go?
No, I just want to say, thank you guys for rocking with us, hanging with us. Greatly appreciate y'all. We had an amazing, amazing time. Definitely follow Irena and I on Facebook, Nakia P. Evans, Irena Tennant, or check out our Facebook page, Beautiful You, Authentic You, okay? And just kick it with us, all right? We got so much more that's coming up, so many things that we're doing. But again, thank you so much, and we will check y'all out next Sunday at 8 p.m. All right, have a great one, guys.
I've got money in the bank, cars in the driveway. I've got a house I can claim, clothes in my closet. I've got a bed for my head, shoes for my feet. I've got breath in my body, and if I was just anybody, I'd say it's all good, but I know better. It's all God, but I know better. It's all God. I've got friends I can call when I need help. I've got family when I fall to pick me up. I've got a bed for my head, shoes for my feet. I've got breath in my body, and if I was just anybody, I'd say it's all good, but I know better. Oh, it's all God, but I know better. It's all God. 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 And if I was just anybody, I'd say it's all good, but I know better. It's all God, but I know better. And I know that it's all God. You know, the Bible says in Psalm 27 and 13, David said, I had fainted, lest I had believed to see the goodness of God in the land of the living. And what we come to understand and know, that even when it doesn't look good, it works for the good. To all those that are called according to his purpose, help me say, it's all good. It's all God. It's all God. Everything going on in my life. And it's all God. It's all God. Had a few hills to climb. It's all good. Whoa, it's all God. I don't know what they face tonight, but I know it's all God. It's all good, but I know